Shreya Gopal, differently abled. Differently abled, Shreya Gopal.
Summer, one of the most beautiful seasons of the year. The blooms are out, the sun is out, and water parks have open access to one and all. Madam Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Every summer, like clockwork, for 60 days, my sister and I were shipped off to my grandparents' place. No parental guidance! Of course, I'm kidding. We would be under the care of my grandparents and my aunt. My grandparents were responsible only for spoiling us. Every other day these summers, we would set a huge crate of mangoes in the porch, sit ourselves around it, and dive into the juicy, yellow, bright, peachy mangoes, letting them drip all over us, making a mess. All this while, my aunt would stand in the rafters and lovingly look at us. She did have to clean up that mess. When we were kids, we were copycats to my aunt. We would follow her around everywhere. If she were in the kitchen, we were there. If she were in the living room, we were there. If she were watching television, we were there. The best part about these summers was the den. On these hot, humid, sunny afternoons, we would spend time in the backyard. Now, my grandparents' house, the backyard had a huge canopy of trees, offset by rose bushes, jasmines, and all sorts of tropical flowers, spritzing their scent into the air. We would sit ourselves there and work on our favorite summer pastime, embroidery, needlework. What young girl wouldn't want to do needlework all summer long? You see, my aunt owns a boutique. She transforms these pale, marble-like, colorless pieces of cloth into exquisite forms of art. She uses colors like red, blue, green, and works motifs, designs, converting them into tops, dresses, even saris. So we would sit next to her, pick up scrap pieces of cloth and some leftover thread, and work our stitches. Every summer she patiently retaught us the same 3 stitches: the chain stitch, the back stitch, and my favorite, the French knots. I remember one summer working on a string of French knots, only to realize that I had sewn the cloth onto my skirt. I panicked. I waved her over. She calmly walked over, picked up a piece of scissors, and deftly cut me out of it. She had undone an hour's worth of work. 2 years ago, for my wedding, she gave me this beautiful sari. It all of us, and my aunt, is that she was born deaf and mute. Born in small-town India, with not many opportunities for a sign language school or a special school, she converted and generated a language of her own. This language is so ingrained in our minds that even today, when my mother speaks with us, she would sign. Bring me a cup of tea, or fetch me that bowl of water. As kids, this language was our secret communication. Is my aunt powerful beyond measure? Absolutely. Is she talented? Definitely. Is she disabled? No. Differently abled. The differently able, like my aunt, accept society despite its pride and prejudice. They aspire to success and achieve greatness we can only imagine. While going about life, we talk about the overweight girl, bald man. We forget they have a different dimension. While mentally tearing apart people, we fail to realize that all they expect from us is compassion, respect, and acceptance. Are we disabled for failing to celebrate the diversity they bring to this world? And as my aunt would say,